Hello and welcome to TotoTCG. You are here with me, Matthew, and we are back here with another Pokemon news update. So we have yet another round of new supporters to check out. Now these ones are from Charisma of the Wrecked Sky. They will be coming out in Celestial Storm, so this is going to be pretty cool. This is wrapping up all the supporters now that will be coming out in our Celestial Storm set. So if you haven't already checked out the first bit, which was the Champion Road supporters, definitely go check them out, just so you're up to date with what they do. Now we're moving on to Charisma of the Wrecked Sky. So without further ado, let's get cracking on. Let's find out what our first one is going to be. So the first one is this guy right here. So you might be wondering, well, that looks a little bit familiar. It's, how could you say? A Fisherman. Well, that's exactly what it is. It is Fisherman. So Fisherman is coming back. This was a old supporter that I think was still in rotation when Breakthrough... I don't know whether it came out in Breakthrough, but I think at some point Fisherman was there. Well, for anyone who doesn't know, what does Fisherman do? So, Fisherman allows you to put 4 basic energy cards into your hand. So, of course, you can do this, and then you can combo this with a few things as well. So, say, for example, you've just got knocked out, and something has had, for example, 4 energy on it. It might be, I don't know, maybe a Raichu GX. You think, well, I want that lightning back. I've got a Magnezone on the bench. I'd like it back. I can place it down everywhere. Exactly, you do that. You play Fisherman, you get that 4 energy back, you use your Magnezone and spread it out all over where you want it. It's exactly what I would do. So yes, it's hopefully going to be a really good card. Obviously it does help to sort of rotate your energy a lot. You know, if you're going to get knocked out with something hefty like a Gyarados, for example, which if you do power it up would have 5 water energies. Now, as much as having water energy in the discard is good, what happens when you don't have any Aqua Patches and you need water energy? You play Fisherman. Plus, it sort of has a nice ring to it. Fisherman, water Pokemon, sort of works. So, yeah, it'd be pretty cool. Pretty cool to see how that works. Whether it, I'm gonna say it will be played. Probably not by every single person, because I think this is just a deck-orientated thing. If you need energy to be rotated back, for example, for Magnezones of Metal and Lightning, then by all means you can do that. Which hopefully will be pretty cool. So yeah, Fisherman is coming back. Unfortunately, no full art. But don't be discouraged, because sometimes they do release like a card, and then a few sets later it's like, well, have a full art. Just have a full art of it. Why not? Now, I don't know whether this is to get ready for rotation, so that when rotation does happen, for obviously after this rotation, next year I'm on about, when it rotates again, some cards will be leaving, but their full art versions might still keep them in, that sort of thing. For example, this set though will probably take about 2 years before it rotates, possibly even more. Who knows? See Fisherman coming back, looks really cool. Love the artwork, love that background. It looks amazing. So really cool. So that's the first one of the 5. Moving on to the next one, you'll probably recognise this guy right here. They have reprinted How. So of course we all know what How does. It draws 3 cards. So you'll no doubt probably get this during a pre-release. Probably not this version, but the older version. But it's pretty cool how they've reprinted this. This is what I'm on about. How came out in Sun and Moon. Next year Sun and Moon will no doubt rotate. The first one anyway. That will no doubt rotate, which means that that old How will go. This one won't. I'm not saying everyone plays How, but for new people who are getting into the game, this is a brilliant way of getting some nice draw support and just finding those cards you need. And I have to say, it is a really nice artwork. It's like how it's progressed. Obviously, the first one, he was there was a mountain background, and he was smiley and everything like that. Now he's in an ice cave type thing. He's got that grin on his face, Pokeball in hand. He's ready to do battle. It looks awesome. Now, unfortunately, no full art of this either, which would be really cool, I have to say, but there isn't. So who knows? Maybe in the next set they might be like, well, go on, have another How. Go on, off you go. Thank you very much. So yeah, How is coming back in this set, so that's pretty cool. So we got 2 almost like returning ones, if you want to put it that way. One reprinted, and 1 returning one. So there is that. So we have got this card right here, looking very cool indeed. Outside some sort of, it's not like a Pokemart or something, it looks like a clothing store with that ribbon. Very cool looking character here. What is she called? She's called Lizzie? I think that's how you pronounce it, Lizzie. What does Lizzie do? Search your deck for up to 2 Prism Star cards, reveal them, and put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. Well, that's pretty cool. So, Prism Star cards. If we were thinking of maybe putting this in with a Buzzwole deck, then you can get the Prism Diancie, and you can get the Prism Beast Energy. Ta-da! That's what this thing can do. If you were playing it in the water deck, you could search out obviously for a Volcanion Prism. However, you do have Brooklet Hill, so you can search it out with that. If they did ever release a water Ultra Beast, which I don't think they are, then obviously you could search for the Beast Energy. Then, yeah, the Beast Energy for that. Then, is it Beast Energy? Yeah, what am I on about? I'm on about Beast Strip. I'm getting confused. Yeah, Beast Energy, you could search out if they did have a water type, and then Volcanion as well, so you don't waste the 2 Prism Star cards. I'm trying to think which decks sort of have 2 Prism Stars. You've got... I can't think of the guy's name. But you could get a Solgaleo Prism, and you could also get a... I really can't think of it, that is so annoying. The guy who allows you to shuffle your opponent's Pokemon back into their deck, just leaving 2. And I cannot think of his name. For the life of me, I can't think of his name. I feel terrible. Oh, what's it called? I don't know. But you could search that out. That's what I'm on about, because then you can play the Solgaleo down, and you can also do that because you probably might have a metal type in the active or water. So you could do the same for Volcanion and this guy who I cannot think of. Let me know in the comments below. You guys are normally pretty good at that, so let me know. Tell me to remember it. I can't believe I can't remember it. Cyrus! Bang! Got it. There we go. So you could search for Cyrus. You couldn't play it this turn because obviously you've just used a supporter, but it's a good way of finding the cards that you want. So that's pretty cool. Does it have a full art though? Yes, it does. So there is the full art right there. It looks absolutely insane. I love the background on it. So colourful. Paint splattered sort of look. The hairstyle is incredible. It looks amazing. Really does look really cool. Definitely a nice one to look for. Do I think it's going to be worth a bit of money? I don't think it's going to be a top one, but due to the fact that you can search for 2 Prism Star cards, which could be pretty game changing, especially in a Buzzwole deck, and a full art version, I'm going to say it's not going to be like woohoo expensive, but there's going to be a bit of price to this, I personally think. Obviously you can just use the regular card, but people do like their full arts. And this one does not disappoint at all. It looks absolutely amazing. Really, really cool indeed. So yeah, there we go. Lizzie, the 3rd one of the 5 for this one. Let's have a look at the 4th one though. So we got these 2 right here. Look like twins. They are slightly different. But what are they called? What do they do? So they are called Tate and Lisa. So I'm guessing it's a boy and a girl, because you've got a short-haired boy on the left and a long-haired girl on the right, plus the blue and the pink. They sort of differentiate. You'll notice on the card as well, it's got 2 different effects. Well, what do they do? Let's have a look. So, choose 1. Shuffle your hand into your deck, then draw 5 cards. Or, switch your active Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. Be brutally honest, I like this card. It's a very situational card, but it's also a draw supporter, which I think is pretty cool. Yes, it might only allow you to draw 5, which is basically a worse version than Cynthia, but you have access to switch your active Pokemon with one of your bench. Now that can be pretty interesting, because you could have a Pokemon that's taken a bit of damage, but you can't retreat. we'll play Tate and Lisa and then retreat it and bring out another one. It's that sort of thing. But if everything's okay on your board, then why not? You know, shuffle your hand into your deck, draw 5, who knows what you could get. You could get some nice playable cards. The only thing with that, the shuffling and drawing of 5, is obviously, like I said, it's a worse Cynthia, because Cynthia allows you to get 6, whereas this thing allows you to get 5, but you do have that added addition of that other thing. So as much as I don't think people are going to run 4 of these in a deck, I personally would like to maybe run 1 or 2 of these, because it's sort of situational, but it's also a draw supporter. And I always find, and hopefully not with this set, but draw supporters for me were quite hard to come across. They didn't want to appear. So the more I sort of put in, the more I can shuffle and then find different stuff. Because obviously during your turn you're thinking, okay, I can use this card, and then I can shuffle to get some more cards. Fair enough. This thing just allows you to do it a little bit, well, differently. You can draw, you can either shuffle or switch. It's entirely up to you. So it's not bad. I do like it. Does it have a full art though? Yes, it does. There is the full art right there. I absolutely love that full art so much. I'd even think of just running 1 just for a little bit of fun, because it is a draw supporter. It's an additional one. I mean, I don't know. Currently, I don't know what people are going to do after rotation in terms of draw supporters, because I know you've got Cynthia, you've got Judge, but I don't know in terms of like numbers, because obviously they were pretty set when you had a Sycamore and Guzma. It was like a 4-4-3, and then either like between 1 and 3 Bridgets. Now that's going to rotate to Fan Club, which isn't bad because you still get 2 basics. So that's pretty cool. But this thing I really do like. I think it looks absolutely amazing. A really, really interesting card. Could be pretty interesting. Is it going to be a money card? No. I don't think a lot of competitive people will play this thing. I could be completely wrong. People could surprise me. Sometimes people find cards and it's like, well, why haven't we been playing this? Look at it. Then it happens. So yeah, this could be a pretty interesting card. I will definitely be looking out for this, but in terms of like value, I don't think it's going to be up there with the money cards. Definitely not. But it's still going to be a nice little one to try and get. I definitely think so. I love that background as well, it has to be said. Really, really cool. Really nice indeed. So moving on to the 5th and final one, what do we have? Well, we have this guy right here. So a lot of people are probably going to be able to guess exactly who this is straight away. No, it is not that card. This specific supporter card actually came out in Ancient Origins, but it was only called Stephen. This one is called Stephen's Decision, or Stephen's Choice, or Stephen's pointing his hand down at the floor whilst looking in the opposite direction. That is what it does. But what does it do? Search your deck for up to 3 cards and put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. Your turn ends. So, it's pretty cool. It is a pretty interesting card. Now, you'll also be noticing it is a holo within the Japanese set, and it's the only holo supporter throughout the 2 sets. So my guess is that this is going to be a holo rare within our English set, Celestial Storm, because Diantha was also a holo in the Japanese set, and then we got it as a holo in the English one. So I think Stephen's Decision will be making itself a holo. So that's going to make it even harder to find, which I think is going to increase its volume. Its value, not volume. But you're probably thinking, okay, yes, I can search for 3 cards, that's pretty cool, but you can't do anything with those cards. You know, your turn ends. And the fact of the matter is, if people are playing Judge, you're going to get judged and all those cards are going to just disappear, which is a waste of a Stephen's Decision. Now, in the set, which we haven't covered yet, there is a Metagross. And with the Metagross, it basically stops the turn from ending. So if you can get the Metagross on the bench, you can then play Stephen's Decision. So personally, I think Metagross was Stephen's Pokemon, like during either the game or the anime, probably even both. I mean, I've seen a trailer with him and he's got a Metagross, plus the fact that the Metagross itself, I think, has Steven in the background. So, put 2 and 2 together, I personally think that Metagross is his, like, Pokemon, at least one of his Pokemon. So, if Metagross is in play, then your turn does not end. So, of course, then that makes this card better. But it's almost as if you have to play this card with Metagross to make it work, because otherwise, you searching your deck for 3 cards is a complete waste. Complete waste. So, is it going to be worth that value? I think because it's a holo, and because it could be pretty playable with Metagross, and there is I think it's a pretty decent Metagross. It's not like woohoo, but it's decent. Now, you can't obviously play the Metagross GX because it doesn't have the ability to allow you to do Steven's decision. But you can play the Metagross from this set and the GX if you wanted to, which can then help because I think there's like Algorithm GX, which can sort of finish off the turn with another 5 cards. But the fact is, if you've got the Metagross, then this doesn't end, so you can get the 3 cards. You could be looking for like an Energy, Choice Band. If you've got Magnezone on the bench, although I really wouldn't think of doing all that stuff to get a Metagross going and all the stuff to get a Magnezone going. But if you can do it, the Magnezone can then launch the energies that you've just got onto what you wanted. The Choice Band can go on itself. You could possibly go for an attack/KO, which would be pretty cool. So, yeah, Steven's decision. I mean, it's not going to be one that I'm going to personally play because I don't really want to play Metagross. But I think people will give Metagross a chance, and I think when they do, Steven's decision is going to be a very good decision. See what I did there? Does it have a full art? Yes, it does. There is the full art right there. Looks incredibly cool. Definitely going to be a supporter I'm going to be looking for. I think this might... I don't want to say it's going to be a massive money card, but I think it could be a pretty decent one. If people do play Metagross, Metagross becomes big, this thing will go up in price. Now, obviously, during pre-releases, everything is like, woof! How much for that normal GX? Oh, that's about 50 quid. Pardon? What? And then when it obviously comes out, sometimes it goes down to about £3. So there's a difference. A big difference. Yeah, but Steven's decision, looking pretty cool. I have got a Steven full art, actually. You can't obviously use Steven from Ancient Origins as a Steven's decision because they're both different. You've got Steven, Steven's decision. They've both got different names. If they named this Steven, then they'd be reprinting Steven. So, there we go. But, yeah, pretty nice one to end off on. In terms of these 5, what's my favourite one? My personal favourite is probably Tate and Lisa. Then probably Lizzie. Fisherman's pretty cool. Then then Steven's decision. That's my thing. I think Tate and Lisa could be a really good draw supporter, but also with that switch ability, it's going to be really interesting. And Steven's decision for me is not really like woohoo unless I play Metagross. That's the sort of thing I'm getting at. But there we go, guys. Let's have a little look, though, at, of course, the Guess the GX answer from our previous episode. So I gave you that picture right there. What was that, in fact? It was Bayonet GX Full Art. So, yeah, I sneakily put that in there. But, yeah, that is a really good card. If you haven't seen the review on it, definitely go check it out, because it is a really, really cool-looking card. Cannot wait to see what that one's like. So, let's have a look at Guess the GX for this one. So, we'll start with that picture there, and that picture right there. Let me know in the comments below what you think this is, as well as let me know in the comments below your thoughts on these cards. Do you think Steven's decision could be really big? Do you think that there's others which could like have a really good effect on everything? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're new to the channel, then definitely make sure to hit that subscribe button below, just to be up to date with all the latest and greatest cards. And obviously when Celestial Storm does come out, we'll be going to all the pre-releases. so we can check out what's going to happen there, see some gameplay of some of the cards, possibly some of the GXs, you never know. And yeah, there we go. So I will see you guys in the next video on the channel, which will no doubt be tomorrow. And apart from that, I will see you guys next time.